Welcome to the Christian Pregnancy Podcast. If you are ready to overcome stress and fear in pregnancy, childbirth, and postpartum by applying God's Word in your life, you are in the right place. I believe that children are a gift from God and the journey into motherhood is meant to be blessed. However, we find ourselves full of stress and fear. As mummies-to-be or new moms, you are a daughter of God, and Jesus has come that we may have abundant life. And this abundant life includes joy and peace through your motherhood journey. I believe as moms, we have the authority to claim this promise from God. I'm Gladys, a mom of two who has been through the struggles of being pregnant, staying pregnant, followed by a challenging childbirth and postpartum. But God was and is my strength, and I am called to help you claim a pregnancy of purpose, a childbirth full of joy, and a motherhood of meaning. Put up your feet, grab your pickles or ice cream. It's time to dig into this journey with Jesus at the wheel. Hi and welcome to the Christian Pregnancy Podcast. I have received a question from a listener, Emma, who is asking for advice about exercising during pregnancy. While I am not an expert in exercise, I have a special guest today who is. So today we will be having Miranda Lee tell us all about exercising during pregnancy. Miranda is a Christian health and confidence coach, and she is also a certified trainer. And guess what? She is currently pregnant with her first baby. So Miranda is the perfect person for this topic. I'll let her introduce herself further, and she'll be getting right into the topic about exercising during pregnancy.
Hi everyone, my name is Miranda Lee, and I'm so excited that Gladys has asked me to come on here to talk to you guys about health and fitness during pregnancy. So before I dive into all that, I'm going to introduce myself. So like I said, my name is Miranda. I am a faith-based health and confidence coach. So I help just busy women build confidence through fitness, food freedom, and faith. I have my bachelor's in applied health science and my master's in business, and I am also a certified personal trainer through the National Academy of Sports Medicine. And also, I'd like to add that I am pregnant with my first baby. It is a boy. My husband and I are so excited. So going through this journey of pregnancy as a personal trainer and as a health and confidence coach has just been so life-changing and eye-opening. And wow, I've learned so much already. And I just would love to talk to you guys about some of the myths that go on regarding fitness and nutrition while pregnant. And before we dive into that, I just want to preface that I am not a doctor. I am not your OB, and that every pregnancy is different. So just because something has worked for me doesn't necessarily mean it is going to work for you, and vice versa. So please make sure to consult with your doctor and your OB before making any decisions or starting anything new. All right, so first let's talk about the benefits of exercising during pregnancy. So we all know that exercise in general is just so awesome for your health, but it's especially helpful and beneficial during your pregnancy. So the first benefit is that it can help reduce any excess weight gain. So while we are supposed to be gaining weight during our pregnancy, we don't want to gain extra weight that we don't need and that our baby doesn't need. So exercising during pregnancy can reduce the amount of excess weight gain that we could potentially gain if we were not working out. And there's also a link that working out during pregnancy can also lower your risk of gestational diabetes as well. Exercise is also super beneficial because it can help with backaches, with bloating, constipation. It can help improve your mood, improve your energy levels, help you get better sleep. It can shorten how long you were in labor. It can decrease the chances of getting a C-section instead of, having natural birth, which most of us would prefer to have a natural birth. So there are just so many benefits of working out during pregnancy. The list just goes on and on. Those were just some of them. Those are some of my favorites. And another one is, especially if you've already been working out before pregnancy, if you keep working out, it'll help you keep your muscle, keep your strength, keep that endurance, and just kind of keep up with, all the hard work that you probably put in before you got pregnant. So we tend to fall into one of two categories. So you're either in category A, where you were already pretty active, had a consistent workout routine prior to being pregnant, or you fall in category B, where you didn't have a consistent fitness routine and you kind of want to get it started now that you are pregnant. So let's talk about category A first. People who have been working out, had a consistent workout routine before they got pregnant. So 9 times out of the 10, most of the times you can keep doing what you were doing beforehand. So if you were already walking, running, weightlifting, you can continue with your workout routine that you were doing before, and just make some modifications along the way. So I was someone who was already lifting weights, running, swimming, doing yoga. So I continued to do my current workout routine and just made certain modifications. These modifications definitely changed along the way. So, the bigger my bump got, I had to make more modifications. And a big one is just really listening to your body. Your body will tell you if something feels good or if something doesn't feel good. So listen to your body, be in tune with it. And always, if you have questions, of course, ask your doctor. But I avoid things that, say that I'm supposed to lay flat on my back, especially going into the second and third trimester. You don't want to be laying flat on your back. I obviously don't lay flat on my stomach because I have a baby bump. So that even with things like yoga that might not be super duper intense, obviously I can't lay on my stomach. I try to avoid things with that kind of mess with my balance. So if you're doing certain weightlifting exercises like a single leg deadlift or something, you need to be careful because our center of gravity and everything gets a little wobbly when you're pregnant, so you don't want to put yourself in those difficult situations. So summarizing that a little bit is basically you can keep up with a very similar workout routine if you were already active before getting pregnant. You don't have to be scared. You can keep lifting weights. It's totally fine to lift weights during pregnancy. Your goal shouldn't be to get stronger and see how heavy you should lift. Your goal should be to keep the blood pumping, to kind of maybe maintain your strength that you've had and, not working for 1 rep maxes or anything, but you can, to an extent, keep doing what you were doing before you were pregnant. So if you fall into the category B, where you weren't super active before you were pregnant, but now you want to start getting active, it can be obviously a little different. So I'd say if you weren't really active before, start with smaller goals, because obviously you're not going to want to hop in the gym, do weightlifting, go for a swim, go for a run, do all these things, because pregnancy is tiring and it's going to be so impossible to keep up with it. So I'd say the first step is start going for walks. Go outside, get some fresh air, go for walks. Maybe start with a 10-15 minute walk a couple days a week, and then you can increase to a 20, maybe 30-minute walk, and try to get your walks in daily. If you're like, all right, I'm already walking, I'm ready for the next step, you can start incorporating body weight workouts. Resistance training is so beneficial whether you're pregnant or not pregnant. So I highly, highly recommend, getting in resistance training, whether it is body weights or light weights. YouTube and Google are just amazing resources that you can look up, a prenatal body weight workout routine. You can start implementing these new workout routines by just looking stuff up. But like I said, start small because you want to be able to be consistent with it and to then start increasing. That's something I teach my clients whether they're pregnant or not. The only way to implement healthy habits and to make sure that they are consistent is by starting off small and then building up from there. So that is my advice to people who maybe haven't had the most consistent workout routine pre-pregnancy and you want to start doing this now for yourself and for your baby and for your body. Pick small goals and work up from there. Because a lot of the times we have this all or nothing mindset and we think that if we're not working out 5 to 6 times a week and if we're not hitting 10,000 steps, then we might as well not be doing it all. But what about setting smaller goals? Like if you are sedentary most of the day, maybe hitting a 5,000 step goal is a good first step. Maybe working out just 2 or 3 times a week, doing a little fitness video on YouTube. That is a great first step. So please do not be scared to work out during pregnancy. It is so beneficial for your body, for your baby, for labor, to help you go into a consistent workout routine after pregnancy as well. Because are you ever really starting over if you never really stopped? I think that's a great way to think about it. While yes, your body is going to need a break, obviously, after giving birth, and it is not recommended to work out until the doctor gives you the green light, which at the earliest is typically 6 weeks, and then, but every pregnancy and every body is different. It's going to be so much easier to getting back into working out if you never actually stopped and that you were consistent throughout pregnancy. So I don't want you to think it's too late if you're already in your 2nd or 3rd trimester and you're like, oh man, I haven't worked out at all. It's okay. Start small, take those small consistent steps and work up from there. Another common question is, how hard should you be working out? I know there's a lot of back and forth on your heart rate, but I think a good frame of reference is you should be able to hold a conversation while you are working out. If you are working out and you are having a hard time breathing and talking at the same time, then that is an indicator that you are probably going a little too hard and you need to take a step back. So use that as a frame of reference, that you are able to keep a conversation while you are working out. In my own podcast, Empowered Podcast, I talk about why people, quote unquote, fall off the wagon or they're not able to be consistent with their workout routine or, trying to implement the healthiest lifestyle that they can. And it all goes back to your why. Why are you doing this? It can be so easy in this society to do it for vanity reasons or to do it for just other selfish or egotistical reasons when it comes to working out and eating healthy. But I think as Christian women, especially during pregnancy, we need to remember that we are doing this to honor God and to thank Him for this life that He's given us and this life that He's trusted us with, and that's the life of our little baby. So I know with me that my why, while it's still to glorify God, it has changed slightly, that I'm not just working out and eating healthy for my own health, but it's for this life that God has trusted me with. So I am eating healthy and working out for the health of my own baby, that it is something that God has trusted me with. So if you are having trouble sticking to your workout routine or eating healthy or just making these lifestyle changes, really reassess, why are you doing this? And when our why is bigger than ourselves and when our why is to glorify God, it is going to be so much easier to stick with it and to work hard and to make those sacrifices, because it isn't just about you anymore. It is about God. It is about this baby. So it is so important to just check yourself and see what your why is, because it can be so common to think that, oh man, like I have to keep working out because I don't want to gain too much weight, or, I want to look good. But that's not what this is about, you guys, all right? We have to embrace the changes that our body is going through, because this is an amazing experience that not everyone gets to experience. So if we are lucky enough to be able to hold a child, to be pregnant, then the last thing that we need to be worrying about is the weight gain, how we look in the mirror, the swelling of our ankles, the fact that we can't fit into the same pants after giving birth. That's not what it is about. So it is so important to just let go of our ego, look at the bigger picture, which is glorifying God and putting your heart and your soul into growing this baby, because that is what God has trusted you with. And it is so much bigger than just ourselves. And it is also just so important to just have a different view of our body and the purpose of our body. God lent us this vessel, which is our body, to store our soul. So we weren't put on this earth to look a certain way. We were put on this earth to glorify God, to live out the purpose that He has for us. We all have such unique individual talent and characteristics. Like, we are all so different. And our body is just this vessel that God is loaning us to put our soul into it. So yes, we should treat our body like a temple because it is being loaned to us. And you know that when someone loans you something, you should take care of it. You should, give it back to the owner better than when it was given to you. So yes, we should be eating healthy. We should be exercising. But that isn't our purpose. Our purpose in life isn't to obsess about the vessel that is being loaned to us. It's not to obsess about our pant size, our weight. Yes, we need to be taking care of it, but no, it is not our identity. So I just want you to remember that while your body is going through these changes, while you go through your postpartum journey as well, that this is just a vessel being loaned to us. It does not identify us. Yes, we need to be taking care of it, but there are so many other aspects of our health, including our mental health, our spiritual health, our financial health. There's so many things outside of just fitness and nutrition. Okay, so I don't want you to think that just because your fitness and nutrition is on point that you are just healthy. No, what about your mental health? What about your relationship with God? What about your relationship with your significant other or your children, your family? So I just wanted to throw that out there because I love working with women to build their body confidence. And it isn't because I'm just sitting with them saying like, you have an amazing body. It's just, we're getting detached from the societal norms that's telling us that we are only worthy if we look a certain way. And it's not true. Like it says in the Bible, God says that He knitted us in His womb. We are His beautiful, unique masterpiece. So we need to embrace that. We are all different, and that's okay. Because if we are all the same, we'd be trying so hard to be different. But we live in this world where we are all different. We're trying so hard to be the same. So, like I said earlier, it just goes back to our why. God is our why. It is so much bigger than us and our ego and everything that diet culture is trying to shove down our throats. So if you guys have any more questions about health and fitness and nutrition, whether it is relating to pregnancy or not, please feel free to reach out to me. You can follow me on Instagram at thisismirandalee. You can go to my website, thisismirandalee.com. And you can also listen to my podcast. Like I said, it's called the M-Powered Podcast. So M-Powered Podcast. Thank you so much, Gladys, for having me on. I really appreciate it. I hope I was able to answer your guys' questions, and I hope you have an amazing day.
Thank you so much, Miranda, for the wonderful sharing. I really like the part about getting into our why. Why do we want to exercise and why do we want to work out? And it is to honor and glorify God as an act of treasuring the baby that He has entrusted us with. Also, God lent us this vessel, our body, and we get to take care of it well by eating healthy and exercising well. If you want to hear more from Miranda, be sure to check out her podcast and connect with her on social media and in her Facebook group. And all these details are in the show notes section of this podcast episode. If you have any questions about going through pregnancy and motherhood as a Christian, please send me your questions and you may get your questions answered on a podcast episode just like in today's episode. The best way to do this is to connect with me in my Facebook group at bit.ly/Christian Pregnancy Group. That is bit.ly/Christian Pregnancy Group. So until the next episode, God bless you and may you have a joyful pregnancy and motherhood. If this podcast has blessed you, helped you, or challenged you, please share it with another mom-to-be or mom and leave a written review on Apple Podcasts. This helps inspire a generation of kingdom mothers and future world changers. Also, come join the Christian Pregnancy Facebook group at bit.ly/Christian Pregnancy Group. That is bit.ly/Christian Pregnancy Group. See you in the next episode. May God bless your pregnancy, childbirth, and postpartum journey with His joy and peace always.